Good evening. Settle yourself in and allow your breathing to slow. This is a quiet journey, a gentle walk through a single day in the hidden life of Beyonce. Not the dazzling image on the screen, not the energetic presence on the stage, but you, in the stillness of your own morning. The world will see only the bright lights and the triumphant performance of the Super Bowl. Yet long before that evening, there is an entire day filled with careful balance, of discipline, of artistry, and of small, tender moments at home. As you listen, imagine yourself inside her skin. Tonight, we follow you through 4 stages of this unfolding. Your quiet morning in Houston, the hours of preparation and rehearsal leading into the Super Bowl, the heightened stage itself, with lights and music surrounding you like a storm, and finally, the slow unwinding of night, when the makeup comes off and voices grow soft again. So let your mind drift into this day. This is the hidden life of Beyonce, and it begins at dawn. The air is still dim when you first open your eyes. Curtains are drawn across the tall windows, but a faint gray light seeps around their edges, promising the beginning of another day. The city of Houston rests outside, heavy with its warm southern air. But in here, your room is cool and hushed. Your body is heavy, the kind of heaviness that comes not from laziness, but from work. Every muscle remembers yesterday. Rehearsals, movements repeated again and again, each gesture practiced until it feels as natural as breathing. Yet before you can return to that cycle, there is the gentle ritual of your morning. You draw in a long, slow breath, letting the quiet of the house settle around you. Somewhere down the hall, you hear the faint creak of small footsteps, children moving about in their own world. A soft voice calling out, a muffled laugh. Their energy is uncontainable, even this early. You swing your legs out of bed, the carpet thick beneath your bare feet. The fibers press up softly, grounding you. The room still smells faintly of lavender, an oil you set by the bedside the night before to help your body rest after so many hours of strain. That scent lingers, mixing now with the faint aroma of fresh coffee beginning to brew downstairs. Before anything else, you stretch, slowly, deliberately. Your arms lift, fingers extending toward the ceiling. Shoulders loosen, the tendons lengthen, and you feel a small release in your back. It is a routine you've carried for years, because the body that must carry a show on its shoulders cannot be neglected. You rotate your neck, vertebra by vertebra, until the stiffness eases. You bend forward gently, letting the weight of your hair fall down, your arms brushing against your legs. Outside the window, a bird calls. A simple sound, rhythmic, almost metronomic, against the quiet morning air. The children's voices are closer now. You hear them running, and then the muffled sound of a door closing. Their laughter bounces lightly through the walls, filling the house with life. For a moment, you stand still, just listening. Fame may carry you across continents, yet here, what surrounds you is ordinary, familiar, grounding. You walk toward the kitchen, the wooden floor cool against your feet. The light is still dim, but in the kitchen a warm glow shines beneath the cabinets, bathing the counters in gold. A mug waits, and with it, the dark swirl of coffee. You hold it in both hands, feeling the warmth sink into your skin. The steam rises, carrying with it a roasted, earthy scent that mingles with the lavender still lingering on your fingers. The children appear then, small faces bright, hair still tousled with sleep. They climb into chairs, asking for breakfast with the kind of innocent urgency that only a child can summon. You move through the motions, pouring juice, slicing fruit, arranging it on plates. The sound of cereal crackling in the bowl seems amplified in the still, quiet room. You smile at them, quietly. You say little, because this is not a moment for speeches. It is the kind of routine moment that grounds you before a day that will later demand every ounce of your focus. After breakfast, you retreat briefly into your private studio. The air in there is cooler, the space larger, and the light streams in with more clarity. Mirrors line the wall, reflecting your image back at you. Not Beyonce the performer, not the legend. Just you in leggings, hair tied loosely back, beginning a set of stretches. The music is soft at first, not the pounding rhythm of performance, but the muted hum of a piano, rising and falling. You let it carry you through slow movements, feeling each joint respond. Your arms, your core, your legs, each one warmed carefully, with attention, because later, under the stage lights, they will need to perform with precision. For nearly an hour, you let your body loosen, strengthen, prepare. The sound of your breathing fills the space, steady and controlled. Occasionally, the faint giggle of a child filters in from the hallway, but you remain centered, focused. By the time the routine is finished, sweat has gathered lightly along your skin. Not heavy, not overwhelming, just a soft sheen, the body's quiet acknowledgement of its awakening. You sip water slowly, feeling it cool and clear your throat. And as you pause, the thought comes to you. Tonight, the Super Bowl stage awaits. But in this moment, it feels distant, almost abstract. The reality of it is hidden behind the small, ordinary comforts of a morning in Houston. For now, it is only you. Your breath, your family's voices in the background, the gentle unfolding of a day that will later turn extraordinary. The morning in Houston has passed, and the air grows brighter. Time moves forward with its steady rhythm, carrying you out of the quiet of home and toward the vast machinery of performance. The Super Bowl does not wait. You are driven to the stadium, the city streets stretching long and sunlit outside the window. The car hums gently beneath you, and you rest your head back, watching the blur of traffic slip by. Billboards loom above the highway, bright with advertisements and reminders of the event. The world is already buzzing with anticipation. But here in the stillness of the car, you remain inward, conserving energy. The stadium comes into view, a massive shape of steel and glass. It rises like a monument, enclosing its own world within. Even from a distance, you sense the hum of activity, like an anthill alive with movement. The closer you draw, the more you feel it. The vibration of speakers being tested, the shuffle of crews moving equipment, the faint echo of rehearsals still lingering in the air. You step out of the car and are met with a rush of cooler air from within the stadium's SARS tunnels. The hallways are cavernous, filled with concrete walls and the echo of distant voices. Fluorescent lights buzz faintly overhead. Around you, staff members move quickly, some with headsets pressed to their ears, others wheeling cases of equipment. Their pace is hurried, but their voices remain measured. An orchestra of logistics, each person a small part of a vast whole. You are guided toward a rehearsal space. The door opens to a large empty hall where dancers gather. Their shoes squeak softly against the polished floor, their bodies already warm, stretching and bending. A faint scent of resin lingers, the kind used to keep grip on the soles of shoes. You join them, your presence quiet but commanding. No words are necessary at first. the rehearsal begins, and your body slips back into its rhythm. The music swells from the speakers, loud here, yet still only a fraction of what it will be tonight. Step by step, movement by movement, you repeat what you have repeated countless times. Your arms cut through the air with precision. Your feet strike the ground, the reverberation traveling through your legs. You feel the strain already in your muscles, but it is a familiar strain, one that carries no surprise. An hour passes, then another. The rehearsal grows more exacting. Each pause, each transition, is refined. You listen as the choreographer gives soft corrections, pointing out a hand slightly late, a foot not quite in sync. Your own mind is sharp, attuned to every detail. There is no space for imperfection. After a break, you move to sound checks. The stage itself waits now, built in fragments across the field. It is still empty of the roaring crowd, but even silent, it radiates its own presence. The floor panels are cool beneath your shoes, and when you lift your eyes, you see the sheer size of the stadium seating rising upward in endless arcs. A microphone is placed in your hand. The sound engineer's voice comes faintly through the headset, asking you to test, again and again. You speak, you sing a few notes, the sound echoing back vast and hollow. Adjustments are made. The engineer's voice returns, steady, calm, guiding you through decibel levels, through reverb, through balance. Managers gather then. They walk with clipboards, tablets, papers in hand. They remind you of the timing, the schedule, the expectations. You nod, listening with quiet attentiveness. Their voices are practical, never emotional. They speak of minutes, of entrances, of exits. The performance is broken down into a series of precise numbers, like the ticking of a clock. The day stretches onward. Muscles ache, but you press on. Breaks are short, water cool and fleeting, before you are called back to move again. The repetition is deliberate, as though perfection could be carved from the body by sheer persistence. At one point, you sit briefly in a dressing room, the chair cool beneath you. The mirror reflects your face back at you, unadorned, calm, slightly tired. On the counter lie brushes, powders, palettes of color, all waiting for later. For now, you simply breathe. You close your eyes, inhaling the faint scent of stage makeup that already hangs in the room. Outside, the rehearsals continue. The bass notes rumble faintly through the walls, vibrating in your chest even here. Time passes slowly, but steadily. Each rehearsal blends into the next. The manager's voices grow firmer, the dancers' steps grow sharper. The lighting crew begins their work, testing beams of brightness that cut across the field in clean lines. Each light is calibrated, its angle measured, its glow adjusted. The pressure builds, though you carry it quietly. The expectation of millions will soon converge on this single performance. But for now, it remains abstract. Just preparation, just another rehearsal, another set of counts shouted into the air. And when the afternoon tilts toward evening, you know that soon, rehearsal will give way to reality. The stage will no longer be empty. The crowd will no longer be silent. The lights will no longer be just beams on an empty field. They will be stars ignited above your head. You rise, steadying yourself. You are ready for what comes next. Evening falls slowly, but here inside the stadium, time feels suspended. The air is cooler now, though the hum of electricity vibrates steadily in the background. The rehearsals are finished. The final preparations are in place. And now, the stage waits. You stand in the quiet of the tunnel, the wide corridor leading out to the open field. The air here smells faintly of metal, of dust stirred by footsteps, and of the faint ozone tang of machinery at work. Your hands rest at your sides, but you feel the hum of your heartbeat, steady but strong. Beyond the tunnel, you hear the crowd. It is a sound unlike any other. Not a single voice, but thousands, layered one upon another, forming a constant ocean of sound. It swells, dips, and breaks like waves against a shore. The cue comes, a nod from a stage manager. The moment has arrived. You step forward. The light grows brighter with each step, until suddenly the stadium opens before you. Vast, towering, filled with people. The air is alive with their energy. The stage rises beneath your feet. The first note begins. Music fills the air, heavy and clear. The bass rumbling through your chest, vibrating in your ribs. The lights burst upward, beams cutting through the night sky, flooding the field in white and gold. You move. Each step is sharp, precise, yet natural, as though carved into you from endless rehearsals. Your voice rises over the music, carried through the speakers, echoing back to you from the immense walls of the stadium. The sound is so large, so consuming, that for a moment, you feel as though you are standing inside the music itself. Each note, each beat, surrounds you entirely. Sweat gathers quickly along your skin. The heat of the lights presses down, mingling with the exertion of movement. Your body bends, turns, leaps, never still. And yet, every gesture feels inevitable, controlled. The choreography flows as though the music itself is guiding you. Around you, dancers move in perfect synchronization. Their feet strike the stage in unison, the sound muffled beneath the layered rhythm of the instruments. Their movements echo yours, amplifying your presence, multiplying your energy outward into the crowd. The stadium roars, though you do not let it break your focus. You hear it as a low tide, steady and constant, feeding the rhythm but never distracting from it. Minute by minute, the performance unfolds. The first song builds, then falls into silence. A brief pause, a breath, before the next begins. You shift effortlessly, your voice adapting, your body changing pace. The lights alter with each transition, sometimes flashing in rapid bursts, other times casting long, slow beams of color across the field. The air is thick now, heavy with heat, with the smell of smoke from pyrotechnics that erupt at intervals, leaving faint trails that curl upward into the rafters. The stage itself trembles under the force of bass notes and the synchronized pounding of feet. Your throat burns slightly from the effort, but your voice remains strong, cutting cleanly through the noise. Every word, every note, reaches outward, carried to the furthest rows of the stadium. Another song begins, one of the familiar ones, the kind that stirs recognition in every listener. The crowd surges, voices rising in unison, some singing along, others simply shouting your name. Yet from where you stand, it all blends into a single resonant wave of sound, vast and indistinct, like wind rushing through a canyon. You glance outward. For a moment you see not faces, but lights, thousands of them scattered through the crowd. Small glowing points from phones held aloft, like stars scattered across a dark sky. They shimmer as the crowd sways, giving the entire stadium the appearance of a moving constellation. The performance reaches its peak. Your movements sharpen, your voice lifts higher, the music surges in response. The pyrotechnics explode once more, sending a burst of light across the field. Heat brushes against your skin, mingling with the steady layer of sweat that now clings to you. And then, slowly, the set begins to wind down. The music softens. The final notes stretch, long and deliberate. The dancers' movements slow, spreading out across the stage in wide, flowing gestures. You stand in the center, voice steady, finishing the last phrase. The silence that follows is immediate and immense. For just 1 second, the world feels suspended. And then, the crowd erupts again, a sound that shakes the very structure of the stadium. Applause, shouts, cheers, all pouring over you in an unbroken wave. The lights dim, then fade. You bow slightly, calm, collected, before turning back toward the tunnel. The performance is complete. The stadium remains alive behind you, but your part in it has ended. Now comes the return to quiet. The performance is over. The roar of the crowd still lingers faintly in your ears, like the echo of the ocean after you have left its shore. But here, back in the quiet of the tunnel, the air feels calmer, cooler, almost hollow compared to the stage's overwhelming brightness. Your footsteps sound heavier now, as though every ounce of energy you carried into the performance has been released into the world and left behind. The staff around you speaks in low tones, congratulations murmured, instructions offered softly. But their words wash past, half heard. You nod. You smile faintly. But inside you are already retreating toward rest. Back in the dressing room, the mirror greets you again. This time, it shows not the anticipation of the morning, nor the focus of rehearsal, but the fatigue of a body that has given everything. Your makeup glitters faintly beneath the lights, but your skin beneath it is warm, damp, and tired. You sit. A soft chair, cool fabric against your back. A member of your team moves quietly around you, removing microphones, untangling wires, unfastening the small clips hidden in your costume. Their hands work quickly, efficiently, and you remain still, eyes half closed. Then comes the slow ritual of removal. Brushes sweep gently across your skin, lifting the powder, the shimmer, the color. Cotton pads press softly, leaving faint traces of makeup behind before fresh cleanser clears it away. Bit by bit, the stage face disappears, and what remains in the mirror is simpler, more human. Just you. The clothes are replaced with looser ones, soft cotton, warm against your skin. Sneakers replace heels, their cushion easing the pressure in your feet. Your hair is tied back, released from the intricate styling that held it all evening. The strands fall more naturally, brushing gently across your shoulders. The journey home is quiet. The car hums softly, its interior dim. Outside, the city glows faintly with streetlights, the occasional flicker of neon signs, the long curve of highway lights stretching into the distance. You lean back into the seat, the vibration of the road soothing, steady, almost like a lullaby in motion. When you arrive home, the air feels different, familiar, safe. The noise of the stadium is far away now, reduced to a memory. The house greets you with stillness. The faint scent of candles lingers in the hallway. The rooms are dim, some lit only by the glow of small lamps. You move softly through the space, your steps careful, deliberate, as though you wish not to disturb the quiet. Somewhere deeper in the house, you hear a faint sound, the low murmur of Jay-Z's voice. When you enter, he smiles gently, his words quiet, simple, asking how you feel. You answer in the same tone. A few words. No more. No explanation is needed. He already knows. Together, you check on the children. Their rooms are dark, except for the faint nightlight glow. Their breathing is deep, steady, the rhythm of sleep filling the air. You lean down, pressing a quiet kiss to their foreheads, whispering words they do not hear but feel nonetheless. They shift slightly beneath their blankets, then return to stillness. The night stretches on. You retreat to your own space again. The bathroom is filled with the soft scent of warm water and lavender. You wash your face once more, letting the heat of the cloth relax the last tension from your body. When you slip into bed, the sheets are cool against your skin, the mattress supporting you fully. Jay-Z joins you, his voice low, carrying only simple words. Observations, reflections, nothing urgent. The two of you speak softly, as though trying not to disturb the night itself. The sentences grow shorter, the pauses grow longer, until eventually, words fade altogether. You close your eyes. The echoes of the day drift farther and farther away. The morning stretches, the rehearsals, the roaring lights of the Super Bowl. All of it fades into a softer, quieter memory. What remains is breath. The steady rhythm of inhaling, exhaling. The weight of blankets. The faint warmth of another presence beside you. Outside, the city sleeps. Inside, you too drift into rest. And so, the hidden day ends. Not with music, not with applause, but with silence. This was a day in the hidden life of Beyonce. A morning filled with ordinary family routines, an afternoon consumed by relentless preparation, an evening of bright stage lights and sound, and a night that returned gently to quiet, to home, to rest. It is a reminder that even the grandest performances are built upon moments of stillness, that behind every spotlight lies a morning cup of coffee, a stretch, a child's laugh, a whispered word at bedtime. And as this story draws to a close, you may let your mind rest as well. The day has ended, the lights are out, and nothing more is required. Good night.